Hey Sean, it's Chris again. Just here to answer your follow-up questions. First off, thank you so much for getting back to me so quick. I apologize for me being a little bit late getting back. We just had a big test, so I'm just trying to recover from all that stuff. But your questions, I'll go ahead and get right to them. You had 3 questions that you asked me, so I'll answer those, and then I have a question or two for you. The first question was, as a forensic science major, when I decided to switch, did I feel like it was going to hurt me any? Or did it ultimately hurt me at all getting into medical school? The second question was, what kind of extracurricular activities did I do to make myself a good candidate or set myself apart from others? And third was for me to expound a little bit upon what I meant by time management. So for for the first question, for the forensic science major, did that ultimately hurt me in any way? I don't think so. I think it actually might have helped. Being a forensic science major was an easy switch over from that to being pre-med. It was just basically just adding on the 2 physics courses and the labs that go along with Physics 1 and Physics 2. So as far as that's concerned, I don't feel that it hurt me at all that way. From talking to different admissions counselors at LSU here in Shreveport, they like to see diverse students. They don't like to see all the same thing. They like to have a variety of different diversity, I guess, is a big thing for them. And I think it might have actually helped me in that kind of way. There's not a whole lot of forensic science majors. Not a whole lot of people do that. And I think it might have helped that way. One other way it might have helped is being a forensic science major, you're very detail-oriented because you're being trained to look at a crime scene and find details. So that kind of transferred over into my other coursework and everything else that I did. I became very detail-minded. Small details are something that I was really good at. So I think it might have helped me in other places, such as if you're doing organic chemistry, not missing the small details of an equation, or if you're doing biology and memorizing different small details. I think it might have helped me out in that regard. So I don't think it hurt me at all. I think it was actually a good thing. I enjoyed it. The switch came from whenever I went from being forensic science to pre-med. Originally, I wanted to be a medical examiner, forensic pathologist, and do autopsies and stuff like that. And then my interest just gradually shifted and changed. But that was one of the main things is how I linked up or justified linking up going into medicine from forensic science was that you could do medical examiner. That might still be kind of on the back burner, maybe. I'm not really sure what I want to do yet, but that was one of the possible options that I considered. So there's that. The second one was my extracurricular activities. Actually, I did a whole lot of things. I think I might have possibly overdone it a little bit, but I had fun doing what I did, so I went with it anyway. What I mean by that is I was in several different organizations. I was in MSO, which is Medical Service Organization, which did a whole lot of service around the community with different medical-related things, such as a over-the-counter pharmacy for the local homeless and stuff like that. I was in the Forensic Society, and I was an officer in that, so there was leadership there. What else? I did BU Meds, which is Baylor University Medical Ethics Discussion Society, which was just you sit around with a whole bunch of your peers, and you talk through different things like stem cell research and how everybody feels about that. And just looking at the current events and then going at them not from just a logical standpoint, but from an ethical standpoint as well, with some faculty guidance and stuff like that. So that was fun. See what else? I did a whole lot of things at church. That's another one. I became an EMT, an EMT basic. I took that course whenever I was in, I think that was junior year of college. And became an EMT basic, and did some work on the ambulance, and then got my job that I had in Waco, which was working at Providence Hospital in the emergency room as an ER and triage tech. That also helped out a whole lot. Let's see, what was it? The other one. I was a TA, or I guess maybe you want to call it an SI for organic chemistry. Did really well in organic chemistry, so I found a place that I could teach, and I enjoyed doing that and helping underclassmen or people that were just starting out with that. With their organic chemistry stuff, and that was a good way to make a little money on the side too. But it was also something fun that I enjoyed doing that I got to put on my resume and stuff like that. But I did it more because I enjoyed it. So that would be my main thing that I would tell anyone with how they're doing their extracurriculars is always, your grades are first, and then your MCAT comes after that, and then your extracurriculars. But whenever you're considering extracurriculars, make sure you have time for it with everything else that you have going on, and make sure it's something you enjoy. Because they're going to be able to tell if you didn't enjoy it. Make sure it's something that you enjoy doing, and that if nothing else comes of it, you had a good time. I mean, it's constructive. You don't want to put extracurricular activity as, you play video games. You might enjoy playing video games, but nothing constructive comes out of that. So you want to make sure it's something constructive that you enjoy doing, and that you'll be able to talk about. And if you can show passion in something, that's really what they're looking for. Then they're looking for that you're passionate about something and that you're not just a human computer. So that's the extracurricular activities that I did. Basically, just to sum it up, it was a little bit of leadership put in with some academics, and just medically related stuff. So I hope that answered your question enough on that one. So let's see, and expound upon what I meant by time management. By time management, it's in everything. It's in my studies and my social life, and how I run those two together, and how I plan my time that I'm going to spend studying for exams. So what I mean by that for my studies is, as far as first few times I go through the material, I want to identify what things I'm weak in, and that way I can go back and spend some more time with those things later on. So time management, as far as setting the priorities with the stuff that you get and that you understand that you're good with, and the stuff that you're not good at, and to study effectively to where you build upon the things that you're good at the same time leave extra time left over so you can go back and look at the things that you're not so great at, and so that you can build those up to a level that's acceptable to you, and so you can get the grade that you want. So time management wise with studying, that's what I mean by that. With studying with social life, how I do that is, I have a girlfriend that I love very much, and she understands I'm in medical school and she's in nursing school, so it can get a little hectic at times with that. But it's just setting aside time that you dedicate to doing something else as a break. Everybody needs a break. You can't go all day. You need to take a little break. So that's what I mean by that. And a good way to do that is just to set aside a time. Okay, we're going to get dinner at 7. Okay, so I'm going to make sure that I push myself to be done with studying, or enough to reach a stopping point at 7, and that way I can spend a few hours doing something that I want to do and give myself a little reward. You can do it with rewarding yourself too. So that's what I mean by time management. It's all about setting aside time and making sure you have time for everything during the day. A good thing that I did in college, or used to do, would be write down a schedule. Especially when I was studying for a big test. Every day, if I was having trouble scheduling all the things that I had to do, make out a schedule. A color-coded schedule that lists everything that I need to do. And that way I had enough time scheduled in, and I followed that schedule just like a schedule if I was going to class. And if you're really unorganized, that can help you with that tremendously. Or another thing that I used to do, I used to take a calendar and write all my assignments out for the entire month, when they were due day by day, and what was going on every day on that calendar. And that way, on Monday, I could see what I had going on the rest of the week, and I could schedule my time appropriately with it. So time management is a huge thing with that, and it's just about getting your life together in such a way that you can do everything that you want to, or as much as you possibly can, in one day, and still have time to, rest and relax and sleep. Don't schedule yourself 4 hours of sleep, because you're not going to be able to function well. I've tried that before. It didn't work very well. So that's what I mean by time management. I've talked for a very long time. I'm sorry. So let me go ahead and ask you the question that I have for you. The question I have for you is, what do you feel about the differences between medical schools going from traditional curriculum to system-based curriculum, and for medical schools going from having mandatory classes to classes that are maybe podcasted, to where you have the option of going if you want or not. LSU does that. The system-based curriculum instead of the traditional-based curriculum, and they have a podcast system to where if you don't go to class, you can catch up on it later, and there's not compulsory attendance. So, what are your ideas on that? And that's it. So have a good week.